Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the South 78 Football Show. We are here at the Raising Cane's in Byram, Mississippi. I am Trellis Williams. With me on the far left is Coach Tony Kimball. He's our color analyst on the Terry Bulldogs football on the TSJW Network broadcast, and he's here with us for the first time on the South 78 Football Show. And, of course, in the middle, Coach Chris Thigpen, head coach of the Terry Bulldogs football team. So, Coach, I want to start off with the first question. So, last week you took on Hattiesburg at home. You gave them a good run. Took a lead in the first quarter, 14-7. Ended up having a 14-14 halftime score, and then Hattiesburg was able to hold you guys off, just kind of stopping the offense a little bit. Just were unable to really move the football in the same way we were able to in that first half. Just kind of, what were your takeaways from that game against Hattiesburg?
Well, at the end, of course, I was disappointed. The players were disappointed. The coaches were disappointed. Anytime you have a really good team like that at home, you have extra time to kind of prepare for. You want to put forth your best effort. Now, I did think our team came out. I thought we were well prepared. I thought we played better. It's just like I told you in the postgame. In the second half, we struggled to run the football on offense, and I thought that kind of gave us some balance and will help, the defense, because defensively I thought we played well enough to give ourselves a chance at the end.
Yeah.
And, we took some chances in the first half that paid dividends and scored. We hit some big plays, but in the second half, we just had a tough time running the football. And when you're playing against a defensive front like what they have, Coach, it's very, very difficult to continue to run the football, and especially when your quarterback's not a threat to run. And Brady is not, a dual threat type of guy. He's not a QB run type of guy that, we put a lot of QB runs on him throughout the season because it's not his strength. So, we wanted to come out and try to, sustain drives and keep the defense off. But it got to a point to where I knew our defense had been on the field for too many plays, and they were only going to hold up so long against such a talented team. And so, we throw the interception there to kind of stretch it out. We knock them out at the one. They end up scoring, and then they scored another late touchdown. And so, I think that was the difference. But, our guys emptied the tank. No one felt like we left plays on the field or we didn't give ourselves a chance to be successful and win. But, we like to say, we hopefully will get a chance to see that team again at some point. But we got to take care of business this week. We need to take care of business the following week, and then who knows what'll happen.
Yes, exactly. Take on Forest Hill this week. But, Coach, I think you had a question over here.
Right. So this is my first year here and seeing Terry Bulldog football. Two of the top games this season has been West Jones and Hattiesburg football. So, from up there in the stands, I'm looking at the game, and I felt like the team played well against those.
Right.
You look at the mentality that they had. You look at the preparation that they had. When I was looking at the Hattiesburg game, I was like, where's the team?
Right.
But that was another degree of focus.
Right.
Tell us, Coach, what did you do to get the team they were just laser focused, not focused, laser focused for this game?
Well, a lot of credit goes to my assistant coaches. A lot of credit goes to the players because, a lot of those guys were on the team last year that we went down there and I thought we laid an egg. I thought we didn't play well. I thought our bye week, our preparation wasn't as good as it was this past week. And, that was probably our worst performance. And, talking to Coach Vance about that last year, he thought his team played off his feet that week they played us. And so we wanted to redeem ourselves. We know that they were the number 2 team in the state.
Right.
And, our guys take a lot of pride in where we are now in the program. Probably 3 years ago, I don't know how we would have handled that. But You know, we have a coaching staff that really wants to win, that does a really great job of motivating the players. We know we want to play, continue to play into November.
Right,
And the senior group of guys, they kind of know that, hey, in order to be a contender, this is how you got to do it.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
You got to do it this way, and there are no shortcuts. So,
Yes, and so now this week taking on Forest Hill, and that will be tomorrow night, Thursday night.
that's right.
Be live on the TSJW Network YouTube channel. And Forest Hill, they've kind of had a struggle this year, and this is their last ditch effort to be able to kind of possibly be a playoff team. I don't know if that's possible or not. I think it is, if in certain point differential situations for them. But they are hosting you guys at South Jackson Stadium. So just kind of talk about the challenge of every region game. Every region game has its own challenge to it. Just speak
It's
to
a
that.
challenge. This could be, if you don't approach a game like this the right way, you could set yourself up for a letdown, and that's
Right.
not something we want to do. Even going into the week with a short week,
Right, yeah.
I think I told the players, I said Monday, I said, look, this is not a week where we just take our foot off the gas and say, hey, we made it, we've arrived, or anything like that. We got to still prepare. We still got to go through our process to get ready to play a game. This is our shortest road game. We've played this team last year, and so they got a prideful group. They're playing at home. It's senior night, so they got a lot to play for. But we like going over there and playing. I think it's a really good stadium and set up to play a high school game. They have the turf field. It's on a Thursday, but I told our team and our seniors, this gives you another chance to go out and play well as a team, create memories, and walk away with knowing that you put forth your best effort. And so, Coach Fell does a great job at Forest Hill. And so, we're familiar with each other, and they've played hard in every region game that they have, maybe with the exception of Hattiesburg. You put 20 on West Jones last week, so we got to go play well. And some of our guys that have an opportunity to step up and play. We have some younger guys that have an opportunity to step up and play who's been waiting all season.
Right, yeah.
So,
And to highlight them, and again, to highlight the importance of this game too. Last year, played Forest Hill last game of the regular season, 155-0. But the thing is that the team was very focused and used that next week, knocked off George County. But if you have a letdown game, even if you win but you don't really play that well, you're off rhythm, that's not good to go into the playoffs in that way.
Well, you definitely want to go in full steam ahead. Every coach that's still playing in high school football in the state of Mississippi, they want their team peaking around about now. You want your team peaking. And, you're right. Last year it was a time for us to really rev up the engine, to get ready for a playoff run. And, tomorrow will be no different for us as far as our mentality going into the game. I've been really impressed with our senior group this week as far as practice. Those guys have put last weekend, on the back and in the back of their mind, and they've really had a really good week, I think, of practice. A short week, but a focused week.
So when I'm looking at being a former coach, at this time you want you want your team moving forward. And the areas you want them moving forward is on defense.
That's right.
And on offense, being able to block.
Right.
Being able to block and tackle.
That's right.
This game, you don't want any injuries. You've been having a really safe season in terms of injuries. We're talking about this momentum. What do you say to the players to, continue this momentum? You got the seniors, and that's what you want to happen. If anything, if anybody you want talking in your locker room, you want your seniors talking.
Right.
What do you say to the players not moving past this week?
Right.
but having a forward thinking of saying, you know what, guys, this senior group right here, they have set a trend here at Terry
Right.
High School. You know, what do you say to the players?
Well, I always talk about each group, Coach, about how you want to be remembered as a player, how you want to be remembered as a team, and that's been my message to my players and not my team this year and last year. And I tell them, I say, guys, this is not going to last very long.
Yeah.
I say, hey,
Yeah.
look, I can guarantee you one thing: this time next year, you and I won't be having this conversation
Right.
because you'll either be in college or you'll be in the workforce or whatever. And so this is only a moment.
Right,
So
yeah.
while you're in the moment, make
yeah.
sure you cherish the moment.
Right.
Make sure you, as Caleb Graham would say, empty the tank because you can't get it back once it's gone.
It's gone.
And they have a lot of things going on in their lives. This is their senior year. We looked at the schedule and we was like, man, we had just played Starkville for the spring game. Now we're at the last scheduled regular season game, and it's really flown by. It's gone by fast. And so, just kind of getting them to focus in on what we got to do now to win the moment is, that's been our message. But I think they see it. I know they see it. I know they realize it because even today, the intensity in practice was, it was great between
right.
two seniors. Had to kind of, split some guys up because they were going just that hard. But it hadn't always been like this, at Terry. And so every year we want to continue to get better and better to the point to where the work we're doing and how we're doing the work is something that the kids know got to be done. Like, we don't have to convince them.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, this is what we got to do. This is why we're doing it.
Right.
This is how we're doing it. Like, they already know. And so I've been very, very pleased with our seniors because they may not be the most talented, but in terms of playing together and staying together, they've done an awesome job of that.
And you mentioned that this is a short road game, not very far away at all. So just kind of talk about, make your appeal to the fans here to show
Right.
up and pack out that visitor side.
Well, I think we're going to have a good crowd.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at our school tomorrow, we have ninth grade basketball, boys and girls.
Okay.
We have varsity
Okay.
basketball, boys and girls,
Oh.
varsity football. And the varsity basketball game that they're playing just happens to be Raymond.
Oh,
At
no.
Raymond
Oh,
on
no.
the same night.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Oh, never mind.
Luckily, the band is going to come, and so. But at this point, the way we got to go out and play, I don't care if they say no fans.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got to go out and play well, and play well for 4 quarters, against this team. And so, I told the coaches, I think the other day, this is the time where a lot of teams are shutting it down.
Right.
But this is the time when we want to take a deep breath and get ready for another run, because you want to be playing into November and late November. And if you get to Thanksgiving weekend, you give yourself a chance to maybe play for a state championship. And so anything can happen. All the teams are really good, at this point in the season. So you got to play well. Injuries come into play. Who's available, who's not available, and so. But this is when you want to kind of set yourself apart.
For sure. Coach, appreciate you joining us, of
Yes,
course.
sir.
The South 78 Football Show. We got more coming up right here on the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the South 78 Football Show here from the Raising Canes in Byram, Mississippi. I'm Trellis Williams. We have Coach Tony Kimball over to the far left here, and in the middle we've got the Mayor of Byram, Richard White, joining us here. We're glad to have you, Mayor.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this.
Absolutely. So I would really like for you to kind of update our viewers about some of the stuff that's going on around here in Byram recently. There's always something going on.
Thank goodness. We've been blessed. Bojangles just got open.
That's
and
right.
They're doing real well from what I talked to them Saturday. And we got a few other things. We got another restaurant coming in across from Quick Trips called Jack's Family Restaurant.
Okay.
And we've been working with them the last few weeks on sewage and made sure we could get them in the. Of course, we worked all that out, and we've already okayed there to be there, and they're going to have 80 chairs in there, and they'll be serving food from for breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that.
Is this a local place?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
they're from Alabama.
Okay.
There is one in Forest or somewhere over there on the Interstate 20.
Okay, but not too many of them.
No, not in this area, but they own a bunch of them, and
Yeah.
they're coming out of Alabama.
Well, that's awesome.
So I'm excited about that.
That's always good to have.
More taxes. that people don't have to pay.
Right.
That's the right word.
That is right.
Yes.
So also, just kind of talk about the partnership that the city of Byram has with Terry High School, because
well,
if anybody doesn't know, Terry High School is the school that serves the students.
That's right.
That are
And by
from
the
Byram.
way, I know the Mayor Kendrick down there, and we're good friends. I've known him since he was a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
I know his mom and dad are great people, and I feel like Terry is our sister, our little sister, and I enjoy everything we do with Terry. And but on there, the main thing with them is I'm so glad that they're part of us, and they just don't have the opportunities we do because their land situation ain't like ours, where we have property for people to move.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited. And I want to work with them as much as I can. We have our parades together. I go to his parade. He comes to my parade. Our Christmas parade, which is coming up in December, and it's just and school, of course, is just a diamond for us because that's our high school was here on the corner where Chick-fil-A is. Did you know that?
I didn't
You
know
didn't
that.
know that. Did
Yeah.
you know it?
I did know my grandfather went there.
Yeah.
That's
so
right. So
when we when they went ahead and said the building was not worth it was about early in the 40s. That building was.
yeah.
So they made a decision to go ahead and move it down there. They have 16 sections, a lot. That's what's affected Terry
Yeah.
City. So they did that, and we went and we asked the contractor or the school system if we could have the blocks out of the windows, the glass blocks. So we use those in all our buildings. When we build a fire station, anything, we put those blocks.
Okay.
So to represent Byram High School. And my brother went there also. And my kids went there. My kids all went to Hinds County School. So I'm glad about right over there. We had all of it was right there on the same spot. The ball fields, everything. It was a great school, and we enjoyed it. But it was time to make a change, and we did. And I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
And I, as you well know, I support as much as I do. I do all I can, and I'm going to reach out and say that if there's any business people in our city listening, I'd love for them to consider making some help, doing some sponsorships too.
Yeah.
I know
Absolutely.
that right now they're trying to raise money for their senior getaway. You may not know about that, but
no.
I do. And I would ask that people that if they had some opportunity to sponsor somebody, I'd appreciate them sponsoring Terry High School.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And just like my family, both my grandparents went to Byram High School, so got some history here in the Byram area. But just kind of give your background and just kind of the background of Byram, just for the people that are listening here.
I grew up in South Jackson.
Yeah.
And I went to Wingfield. I graduated in 1968 from Wingfield. And I tell people that all the time. They say, well, my parents weren't born then, but I was. But I was a senior at 68, and I lived in South Jackson. I married a girl from Brookhaven, and we moved. When we got married, we lived in Jackson, Alvarado, a nice neighborhood. And we moved south because we wanted to be between Brookhaven and South Jackson. So we moved down here and bought some land. And when I first started coming down here, it was a four-way stop over there, and it was a small store called Dockery Grill. Dockery Store, not grill. The grill's over there.
Yeah.
And so it was really just a four-way stop there. And, of course, I used to ride down here and swim in Lake Dockery because it was free. And, of course, that was a state lake. And then since I've been mayor, I got them to state to let us have the lake. They redid the dam for us. So we got a nice fishing lake. Have you ever been over to Lake Dockery? You know where Lake Dockery
I
is?
do know where it is. I have not
Okay.
really done
It's
much
got
there.
some nice fishing if somebody wants to fish. And it belongs to the city of Byram.
Okay.
So that was the start. But I was a legislator. I was a senator for 18
Yep.
years in the legislature, and I served there. And so about that time, Jackson was going to annex our community into this Jackson. And so we felt like that we wanted to make our own plan. So I got a group of people together, and we started meeting, and we fought Jackson, and we won our incorporation back, which we lost back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So we got to be a city again. That was been about 17 years ago.
It was 09, right?
Huh?
09, right?
Yes. A long time for some people, not for me. But it was a great opportunity. We had to go out and see the people. We had to get all kinds of paperwork done. We had to ask people to sign petitions. But we got it done. After 12 and a half years, we got to be a city again. So ever since then, it ain't because of Richard White. It's because the Lord has blessed us to do good, and that's what we're going to be doing. So that's what it's all about. I'm excited. I'm going to run 4 more years. I'll go ahead and make a political campaign promise because I enjoy doing it, and I'm blessed that I can do it. I've been blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. So my last question,
Yes.
Mayor, is
You got some good ones.
yeah. Thank you. So I want to talk a little football now.
Well, now I hadn't played football since junior high school.
Oh well.
But-
See, listen. You don't. Yeah,
But I got twin sons that
play.
play. Twin
That's right.
grandsons.
That's
Yes.
right. So right now, Terry Bulldogs 6-3 on the
I
season.
saw that. I looked at it last night.
That's right. And so tomorrow, taking on Forest Hill to wrap up the regular season. Right now, playoff bound, but trying to hold on to that 3 spot last year. Shocked the state with the win over George County. What you thinking about the Bulldogs right now?
Well, Forest Hill, when I was going to Wingfield, was a tough school to beat in most anything. But we did we did beat them a few times. Of course, I went to Provine one year. You know where Provine is. I went there my first sophomore year. But Forest Hill's good, but I know that our people are good. I've heard a lot of good things, and I just got to meet some of the players a while ago. And they're big enough. All they got to do is be smart enough. That's what you say, Coach?
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're big enough. They look like they'll be smart enough, too.
Oh, yeah. No, they think they'll do a great job tomorrow night.
That's one thing about our whole Mississippi. I think we all enjoy football. And, of course, there's a lot of sports out there, and I enjoy a lot of but football is just one of our favorites. And that's my favorite.
And Mississippi high school football is pretty
Yes,
cool
and
to
by
watch.
the way, they're almost as famous as the college football,
It'll get
they're,
like that.
They're pretty exciting sometimes. So I appreciate y'all having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it.
And I'll
Appreciate
continue
it,
to do what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
you do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Good deal. We appreciate you joining us.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're right here at the South 78 Football Show. With me now is Caleb Tillman, senior corner for this Terry Bulldogs football team. And so, Caleb, man, listen, it's your senior year. You've had a great season.
Yes,
Right now you're 6-3 on the year, taking on Forest Hill.
Yes,
Just
sir.
kind of talk about what's been your takeaway of this season so far.
It went by fast.
Yeah.
It really flown. So I just try to take every day just step by step and just enjoy it while it's here.
Absolutely.
That's really what I've been on. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
good.
So this is your senior year. So when you think about just defensively,
Yes,
what
sir.
What was the focus for you all defensively?
Limit points. Don't let the opposite team score and put our offense in good field position to score. That's what Coach Benson really been on. And making sure we just play one together. Everybody play hard. 11 people to the ball.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Caleb, man, what would you say is the key for this team to make another playoff run and make a deeper playoff run?
We just gotta play together as a team. Finish the game, finish.
Yeah.
Start off hot and finish hot. And it's like we gonna do it. We got the potential.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I just hear the leadership in your voice, man. You just lit up when asking these questions right here, man.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing how when you're given this opportunity, as a senior, how
sir.
have you maximized, in your opinion, how have you maximized these moments you had this year?
Working and just staying down and just trusting in God and just trusting in my ability to play ball.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, I've been doing this all my life, so
Yeah.
like I work for this, so I'm gonna show you.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel like now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Appreciate you joining us, Caleb.
yes sir.
Got more right
Yes, sir.
here on the South 78 Football Show. All right, we are back here at the Raising Cane's in Byron, Mississippi. With us right now is NJ Hampton, senior for this Terry Bulldogs football team. And, man, just want to go ahead and ask you your first question, man. Senior year, listen, it's coming down to the end right here. But, see,
Yeah.
the thing is that it's coming to the end, and you want to take in the fact that it's sentimental, but at the same time, this is the time that you want to go win. So
Yeah.
just talk about that process.
It went by fast for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we've really come together as a team.
Yeah.
Like let go of egos and really just bonding. I feel like this team is like very strong and we're doing the right things. And I feel like we really like coming together for the playoffs, and I feel like we can make a great run and go to state.
Yeah.
So what's been your motivation this year?
Really trying to get a ring, the gold ball.
Yeah.
We're really doing it for a bigger purpose. We lost a teammate back in the springtime.
Yeah.
So we really just had the motivation and like a killer mentality from that point.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, and so take on Forest Hill tomorrow. You want to go ahead and if you're able to get that win, you'll have that the third seed in the region, and you'll be able to go. You'll be going and heading on the road again, but you'll be in the same position as last year. And last year, you were able to go get that big win over George County. So just kind of talk about what you're trying to get tight here. Coming off of a close loss to one of the best teams in the state, undefeated team in Hattiesburg. What are you guys wanting to get tight heading into the playoffs?
Physicality. We emphasize physicality as a team, and I feel like if we really if we emphasize that on the first play, and not wait until the second half to turn it up, I feel like our intensity is what makes us a great team. And when we turn on our intensity and really bond, I feel like no one in the team, like no one in the state can mess with us. Like as a team, I feel like we're the best team in the state when everything is clicking together.
Yep. So we appreciate you joining us, NJ. We got more coming up right here on the South 78 Football Show. All right, folks, we're back. This is the South 78 Football Show, the coaches show for Terry Bulldogs football. This is Terry Bulldogs football on the TSJW Network. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button to the TSJW Network YouTube channel. I'm Trellis Williams. To the far left is Coach Tony Kimball, our color analyst on our broadcast, and he's here with us for the South 78 Football Show. And then joining us right here in the middle is Jadarius Young, defensive lineman, senior defensive lineman for the Terry Bulldogs. Jadarius, man, it's your senior year. It's coming down to the end, but this is the time where you want to go get the wins, man. So just kind of talk about the experience of your senior season.
So far, it been good to me. I mean, like last year, we ain't beat Bitburg last year. We beat them this year.
Yeah.
We really been proving a lot of people wrong on teams that we've been facing, and like a lot of people feel like we was just gonna go downhill, but we still been grinding and working. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Good.
So, being a senior on that defensive line, I've kind of figured out who you are. I would ask Coach, who's number 9. I've kind of gotten that understanding. So, what has been your voice? Like, what have you been saying throughout this season? Like, when I saw the D-line last week, they definitely had an impact on the game. So, what have you been saying to your teammates, or what have your teammates been saying to get you all that focus?
I just been saying, stay hungry, stay humble. Like, we get a big stop or something. I tell everybody, let's stay hungry. We gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Don't get too confident. Like, we ain't did nothing yet. We just gonna keep fighting.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And listen, that's the position you're in right now because you're coming into the end of the regular season. Last year, when you played Forest Hill, 155-0, and used that momentum right into George County and took that over too. So kind of talk about going into this week playing Forest Hill. What's that energy? What's the vibe?
Man, I like to tell my boy, like, I just be like, treat every team play every game like it's your last game, because you don't know when it might be your last game. Everybody one injury away, So
Yeah, that's right.
they play every game like it's their last and play like it's the championship game. It don't matter who it is. So, yeah.
Listen, I'm going to have to ask you about one particular play this year, and that was the punt block return for a touchdown, man. That was one of my favorite plays of the year. So, man, just take us through that because, see, that doesn't happen much.
Right.
It
Don't get that
doesn't
opportunity.
usually doesn't happen to anybody ever. So, just talk about that. Take us through that play.
Hey, shout out my boy Whitney. He got back there. He blocked the punt. Hey, I just seen the ball. I wanted to scoop. I ain't want to jump on it and just lay on it. I wanted to score. You know, my first time scoring. So, hey.
No, that was
That
man.
was-
You
that
took
was exciting.
Right.
man. You took off too, man. Well, man, we appreciate you joining us, and we're looking
Appreciate it.
forward to seeing you out on the field. The Terry Bulldogs take on the Forest Hill Patriots tomorrow night, Thursday night. So it's not Friday; it's Thursday night at South Jackson Stadium. It will be live on the TSJW Network YouTube channel. Please be sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on. 7 p.m. is the kickoff time. We're looking forward to seeing you there, and then we'll be stepping right into playoff action the following week. Folks, on the far left, Coach Tony Kimball. This was Jadarius Young here, our last player we interviewed. We appreciate you all joining us. I'm Trellis Williams. We out.